Okay, I should be live. Hello, to the non-existent people that will eventually get here if they watch the VOD. What am I doing today? Apparently, I've decided to make a forest cell as a desert cell as my next thing that I'm going to make, next cell for my world. Solid. So it's obviously not solid. Render? No. Material. Alright. So, I don't remember if I was doing it on stream or just... I know I finished it on my own, but I've added the ability for the water to connect to sand, because I kept using that as an example whenever I was talking to people about like the expandability of my waveform system. So basically, you know, you've got the dirt grass edges are steeper than the sand edges, since sand can't hold its shape as well. If we go back here and we go to terminal, new terminal, kind of run. So I've done a little bit of tweaking to get the desert to spawn properly, but primarily today it's not going to be about the code. It's going to be making like models and stuff, like little things to oh, I forgot. I was doing a video, so I was making the render like really high. Do that. Wait, double dot's not correct. Re-renders. Go again. Yeah, so I'm thinking like I'm gonna make like little cactuses and stuff that will go on top of the desert. Let's see if it generates. Oh, it does. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna turn my. So all these fragments are because I've turned the accuracy down on my waveform plugin in order to make the video again. Like I was showing off broken stuff. Like I was going like, you've got to set specific values. Like you got to set the fractional point high enough. So 8's not high enough. I think 16 is where I decided it was like you can't see the errors, and it's still broad enough to collect a lot of the meshes. Yeah. And let's try. Obviously got the map way too big as well. I upped its size just to make it comparable in the video again. Everything's bad in the video at the moment. 150. That's so at the moment, they're just yellow squares, and I figure the forests are like my favorite type. Like they actively are like, this is what I want the game to look like. Whereas the grass and the water, well, the water kind of is, because the water does what I want it to do. It shapes, whereas the grass is just flat. I mean, technically the sand does the same as the water, but the water is connected to the sand more than the other way. And the forest kind of, but not really does it. It's still using the old system, so it's kind of cheating. But like, I really like the fact that it generates the trees at different densities and stuff. So I'm going to try and do like deserts, and I'm going to do things like maybe it'll only spawn cactuses if it's not an edge tile. So like this desert tile wouldn't spawn cactuses, neither would this one, but like this one would, or that one would, something like that. Just to make things interesting, and also like little rocks and things. So I guess back to Blender it is, and the other thing I need to do is make sure I have more colors, because I've only got so many. See, collection. We want this collection to be called sand. What was the thing? Yeah, so I should really work out what other colors are going to be my palette, because things like 29, I'm pretty sure it's just a transparent version, which is hilarious. Yeah, it's just a transparent version of 13. I was trying to see if PBR took in opacity, and it doesn't seem to, so anyway. So what I want to do is probably do something like, you're in here. No, do your own thing. Shift A, mesh, circle, 6. You want to be like 0.1 maybe? Okay. And this is going to be cactus 1, most likely. Okay. Call you cactus body. Cactus body. Okay, so with our cactus body, what are we doing? We're going to we need a green. So is that see, this is what I'm going to do. So I've got lots of color space because I got up to 206 colors, but like I'm using one of these greens as the forest and one of these greens as the leaves, which means that I kind of need to come up with additional greens. Let's look at Minecraft cactus maybe. Just like nick that color. I just need like a nice green to can I get you to magically pick colors that are not in GIMP? Do I need to, actually that works. I was not expecting that to work. That's hilarious. Hold on. Maybe that-ish color. Okay. And then we're gonna pencil that in maybe under here. So pencil that in here. This is gonna be a cactus color. We're going here, grabbing this color. Okay, and this is 27? Yeah, 27. 27. Alright, so let's take this 29. We'll rename you to 27. 27, and then we're gonna go paste the next value in 27. Alright. Why is its opacity wrong? No, 100% alpha. Alright. So we want this, we want to go extrude. Okay, like how tall do we want our cactus to be? Yeah, there's about 3. Yeah, I feel like that's too big, so we're gonna scale you. Or I guess you. We're gonna scale by the 6. 5. That's a cool effect too, so we'll keep that in mind for our next cactus. What have I done? I'm gonna scale you as well. So we have like a little cactus like this. How are we gonna make our cactus work? So it's gonna be something along the lines of we'll have like different parts of the cactus, and then I want to like procedurally generate the cactuses, but that's gonna be a little bit difficult in that like the cactuses I'm gonna need to like come up with some kind of system that lets me build them. So how tall were you? Item. So you were 0.3. So what? So 0.3. Like extrude you. Take you up 0.2. So that makes the total thing 0.5. But we want you to lean over. So actually I would want to take you down to 0.45 maybe? Then we want to like extrude this up to 0.05. And then... So it kind of looks cactusy, and then we want to like scale this to 0. Grab this, go down a little bit lower maybe. Then I want to go grab like you and be like, subdivide that. Okay, that's. I don't know how to subdivide only like one. Like I don't want to select each of these lines individually. I guess what I could do is be like only select these, and then go like subdivide. Okay. And then so we would want to say you and the U are equal. So what is this? As your offset. 0.1. So I'm going to take you to 0.3 and yours 0.1. Like, yeah, cactus. I guess in theory we could make it do the same thing out the other side, like. So difficult to be creative. Because like I don't want to just do the boring thing of being like, it is a cactus, just straight up and down. But I guess that would be a type of cactus. So what you do is you'd be like, I guess just like shift duplicate you, and go turn this off. Go okay into you. So if I select all of these. All of this. Then we go delete. Don't dissolve them. No. We want to delete edges. Okay, delete vertices. Stop selecting the other vertices because I scaled them down to 0. Okay, then we select these ones as well. Delete vertices. Okay, and then we go alt click extrude. Oh, 0.45. Okay, and then we go extrude 0.05 scale 0 a merge by distance shift M. Okay, so we have the boring cactus pillar. So this is cactus like 0. So cactus 0, which is just a boring pointy cactus. And then I do like this cactus. So that's what I'm going for. Somehow I've managed to accidentally create the cactus I want. Okay. I feel like cactuses might need to be generated algorithmically in terms of like the fact that the top of this cactus is obviously going to be this point sort of thing. Like you can probably do a lot of things like you know, change the height between here and here, but I'd have to do that algorithmically because at the moment my waveform code doesn't have any kind of like variables that you can pass in, saying like generate the cactuses at different heights, or like specifically grab these vertexes and change their height. So if we call this cactus core, right? So we have this lovely little core, and then I guess like, I don't want them to have tall and short, but I guess we could scale along the Z axis to change the height of this one. And like if I scale this, like if I go A and then go scale Z, like it doesn't change anything. Like you can do like the little ones and like really tall ones. So scaling by Z, obviously we need to get rid of that bit. So I'm gonna go like Alt, ring, delete vertices. Alright, so if I then do that again and go like scale only in the Z direction. So obviously the offset's how high off the ground it'll be, which is, you know, good. And then we grab give me that back. So scale along the Z. So the issue we get here is we would probably want to split that into two separate things of being like how to put it, like, why's my brain not working? Like this straight bit would need to be separate from this bit, which is separate from the top, so that you can I guess not necessarily the top, because as long as this is at 0, when you multiply this will just get taller, so it'll be like, you will only go this way. Which I guess is a good idea. Like, so, yeah, so, I guess a lot of this will just be coming up with the code that generates the around stuff. So the biggest issue with this I can see is we would need to know the height between here and here, the difference, like because we're going to want all the values to start at 0. Like this one, when it's done, is going to be put at 0. This bit, so, which really is just this. So we need to set you to like a known height, I guess, so that I can like scale. Because when I scaled this, like, it was don't select that one. This one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just randomly selecting shit now. Alright, we'll go round. Okay, so if I scale this, does it look good if the top isn't very, like, I feel like you want the cap to always be the same height, like regardless of the height of the cactus. So, yeah, that seems like the case. So, what we need is to be like, these points here is going to be the cactus cap. So, we're going to go shift P selection. So this is cactus top. This is cactus stem. cactus top, cactus stem, and then so you would then be cactus branch, right? So we go like A. Shift. Okay. No, not duplicate. Shift P selection. So this is cactus. Branch. Right. So we also want all of them to have their center point at 0. So then we would go. You are going to be grabbed and taken down. Okay, we'll take you. Go. Grab, take you down to scale 0. Scale X, Y, 0. Okay, I guess I want you to be 0. And then this lot up here is going to be 0.3, maybe 0.1. 0.1. So as long as we know that the branches are always 0.1, what we can get away with is, we can delete the cactus body now, is by applying different transforms to these 3 parts, we can probably build a lot of different types of cactus. But I do want, there was like one other type of cactus, so I'm gonna like shift duplicate this cactus. There was one other type of cactus I wanted to make, and that was the, I guess we will go into edge selection mode and go select all the edges, and then subdivide, and then select these middle ones, and scale them by 1.25. 1.5. Okay. 1.5. Just out of curiosity, if I was to grab you and move you up here, you don't stick out. Okay. I just like the weird shape of this thing. So this would be cactus big, I guess. So basically it's gonna be something like you take this and you go, how high is the branch going? And so you generate the height of the branch. And the fat cactus I should probably just like give the top to, because I don't think the fat cactus is gonna get this treatment. Okay. So we're gonna go extend 0.5, no, 0.5 scale to 0, and then a merge distance. I'm gonna go let the dog out. I will be right back. Okay, I have returned. What are we doing? Okay, so we have the cactus big, the cactus branch, the cactus stem. So the cactus stem, right, I made it, no. So the cactus stem is probably going to need to be 0.5. Just so that, or like, I guess 1 would be the other option. But like I need to be able to scale it like by a fixed amount. So if it's half a unit tall, I can scale it by, you know, a fixed amount. Well, like an easy to ration about amount. Which, when you'll watch my new video, you'll understand why that's kind of a bad thing. We're going to set U to 0. Except, not apparently. What do I want to do? We're going to go here. Not you. You. We want to go. This is at 0. And then the point here is at 0.05. Okay, and so the point won't get scaled, which is the input part. Okay, so what we don't want is I mean, closures can do stuff in Rust. Like they actually store data. They don't have to like instantiate it every time, I believe at least. So with that, we can be all like, okay, first off, all our normals are right. Yep. Okay. So what are you? 0.2. No, 0.1 in the Z. Okay, so we got this. We go save upload. We export. Should also probably go to my GitHub and be like, what did I do? It's true. Oh, right. Give that to main. Go here. Cargo FMT. Okay. Just so that we have a fresh git point to return to if I fuck up something really bad. Export obj and sand object. Yes. Okay, so we do need to go in there and be like, all of those things need to be triangulated. Control this. And then export sand. Okay, so then we come back up here, we go to our assets, we go to our sand object. Our game asset. This is sand. Oh, this is old stuff. No, waves. Sand. A. V. Alright. So that becomes our meshes. Alright. So I guess we'll go down to wave collapse here. So we go to objects, hexes, and we're gonna go sand. So I think I'm gonna leave sand alone because sand is like empty sand. We're gonna make like a new one called desert. So just make sure I spell this kind of stuff correct. Desert. Yummy dessert. Alright. So then we'll just be like AC desert V. Why are you complaining? Can I find module? Okay. Okay, so inside our desert, we just do the same thing as sand, except we're gonna call you desert. Okay, so you can connect to sand. Okay. So connection sand. That's so that the rivers will still connect to it the same as they do the sand. You're obviously going to need access to your IOD. I don't know if you'll need your neighbors yet. I do want to implement that at some point, but we also need to set up your node. So, let's go take a page out of the river book and go the connection types there. Okay, let's grab all the connection types, dump them like this, but we're obviously not going to use the rivers connection types because it's a desert. So, and it's not even like that. It's these are like the meshes that it holds more than the other connection types. So we have our core, and we have to go to Blender and get the actual spellings of this stuff. So it's cactus. Take the only one I don't think I'll be able to respell. So it's cactus branch, cactus top, cactus stem, and cactus big. Okay. Error cannot find. Yeah. Okay. So we need to import these. Stop fucking moving, and I click the right thing. Import, and same with you. Import. Okay. So there are cactus points. And then we go to desert, because desert has a fancy way of loading itself that means that I don't need to board connection. Yep. So you basically go for connection, asset path, connection. Okay. So you are connection type editor. Yes, okay. So why are you not working? What else have I imported into the river? Into enum? Okay. Apparently it's strum into enum editor. Okay, and then we say like we need to use Bevy asset path. Okay. So with our asset path, we base path. Okay. That must be your path. Okay. So path. Okay, and then you're also called path. Clone you, and then we format you. Not core. So we need to use connection. I guess just core. We don't use any others. At least not here. So why are you complaining? Right dot. Into. Okay, and then connection from core. Why are you complaining? Because we need to implement cow. Interesting. Thought I generically implemented cow, but I guess not. Okay, so that should, in theory, load our meshes, which means that now we have access to all of the possible meshes we could possibly need for our cactus adventures. Okay. So, thing is, like, for each cactus we build, we're gonna need to like store some data. Like, so let's make our struct. Cactus. Right. So our static cactus. Why do I always do that? Struct cactus. Okay. So we need the base height, which is going to be an F32. All right. Yeah. F32. Right. Another dog wants to come back in. Okay, so base height, num arms is going to be a U8, because, you know, let's face it, it can't be anything more than 6. Well, actually, I guess it's going to be arms, because we'll call it, I guess, a vec. Okay, I'm going to let the dog in. I'll be right back. I have returned. So I guess the reason we'll store arms as a vector, even though it's really inefficient, is because we're going to basically make a second struct type called cactus arm, which will then store like the rotation. So like we want an enum rotation. Maybe not capitalized, but yeah, whatever. So, and then we'll just call you so up is it up? Okay. We'll just call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just go up here. 0. Alright. So we're going to say you have a slot of rotation. We also need 0 equals 0, just so that it can be converted into a user ladder. Okay, so then you're going to have an array of cactus arms. Alright, so what do we need to know about the cactus? We need to know how tall the base is and how many arms it has, and look at respective information for each arm. Because that's basically just it. Like, because everything else about the cactus. You know, like, we're gonna build the cactus as we go. We just need to hold this information because, like, I wanna scale the cactus, I guess. So you have access to meshes, so we're gonna import cactus, and it's gonna be like fn build, which is gonna take in a reference to self meshes, which is going to be a assets wave mesh wave mesh, I guess. So we'll say that B takes in P, which is a vertex position, UV, which is a vertex UV. What's it need? It needs what else do you need? Just P and UV. We need an ID and we'll just say that, you know, they're hexagonal cactuses, which means they only need 6 sides. So it's P UV on you, and then you're gonna need main mesh, which is going to be mutable access to the mesh mesh builder, wave builder, T and T, really? UV. I thought the wave builder needed, maybe it's the wave mesh, wave object I think needs more, which means you don't need your ID. Well, I mean, no, because we'll generate the cactus internally to you. Like, once you've picked a cactus, cactuses need to be deterministic. And then we basically will generate a random cactus in here, and then so your bake, yep. So yeah, so we'll generate the cactus data there, then pass it to the cactus functions build in order for the cactus to like spawn itself into the mesh. It might need an offset though. Yeah, it will, because if it's cooking into the mesh directly, it needs an offset, which is just going to be the vec3 of P. Alright, I think that's right. Yeah, because you're like P. Right, your P and then vertex P, and vertex P is other. Yeah, okay, so it just passes down the trail. Can we also rename this to just P? Thank you. So that does it. We have our offset. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go. We need to insert the main stem of the cactus. So the first thing we're going to do is go right, you need to return a result of nothing and fake error. Okay, so let stem equal meshes dot get wait, no, it's not on assets, it's a meshes is no, you're an assets of web meshes. What do you get? You call bake. Okay. I also don't know why my tally since it's still working. Okay. 2 to do. So it's because I spelled it differently. Meshes, that's why my intelligence is working. Alright, so you get this, and then you get so you need access to the wave object, right? In order, I guess you can also get given because you don't need the other stuff, like can connect and build. I mean, you only need access to the specific meshes you need. What is this way of meshes? Wave meshes, which is going to be a hash map of connections and handles to wave mesh P and V. Okay. So we say with you, we say wave underscore meshes dot get. Why is it not working? Why is my whole ItaliSense stopped working? Yeah, found to do. Expected semi. Okay. Dot get, and then we want to say you need a reference to a handle. So your reference to your handle is going to be a connection from connection type. Okay, we're just gonna pub use connection types. Or not pub use connection type. Wildcard connection, that's what I was meant. Just because it saves so much time not having to write connection type all the time. So it would be, yeah, everything's just, why is my IntelliSense just stopped? Connection, cactus stem. Cactus stem. Okay, so getting from you, we need to or else, no, or no, it's some or. Maybe? Is some or a thing? No, it's okay. Or and then that would be a bake error. Mesh not set. Cactus stem. Desert, because that's technically where we are. Desert. Okay, so then we go cactus not set on desert. And then we have to go the same with you. Dot okay. Error. Mesh not found. Cactus stem. this our stem. Okay. And then we're gonna end up cloning it because I'm gonna do some fancy stuff like scale it. Okay, so we are going to want to go to wherever wave mesh is, and we're gonna go. Okay, so you have rotate, and then you have pub fun scale. Okay, then we're gonna say mute self. Okay, so we're gonna scale. Let me say this is scale Z. I guess Y. Y is up. Scale Y. And we're gonna say by how much you want to scale Y. So by, and then it's gonna take in P. Okay, and then it's going to say like for mute vertex in self dot vertexes vertex dot position dot z times equals by. Okay. Binary operator on a circus. Okay. Well, first off, I feel like I should start just expanding this trait. Not its vertex component. We need to say you need fucking mult assign output equals self. What is multiple assign? Right hand side is self. Right. Which, yeah. Okay. I just need multiplier sign. Just need you to have multiplier sign. And then okay. Plus multiplier sign. Alright, so scale by Y. We need to eat a mute. Side. Okay, you get me references. Scale Y. No, and also maybe multiply by Y. So it'll just be like times equals Y, and then it'll scale. I should probably put like a scale where like actually you can scale X, Y, Z, X, Z, but for now I'm just gonna go with the only scaling specific ones I need. So scale Y. So we can then specify the height. So this is why we probably should have set the cactus to half. But anyway, so we then want to say stem dot scale by self dot height. Scale Y. Scale Y. Okay, and then we want to say right, and that's why we should probably say cactus P where P is the vertex position, and then we want to say P. Alright, so scale by P cannot mute. Okay, that's easy enough to fix. So we'll mutate the okay. So input cactus. Apparently we can pull P out like this. So we scale the cactus by M, and then we say main mesh. Why am I returning undo? You just return okay. Maybe that'll make my palisades work again, because the 2 tends to break that kind of stuff. Nope. Add. Okay, expected 2 arguments. So we need to give it offset, and then stem. That is a reference to stem. Okay. Okay. So, and then return error. Okay. And then we want to basically copy this again, but instead of that, we're going to scale that one. We're going to say top, and cactus top. Right. So get the top, and then we don't want to mutate the top. Was it like don't need to declare the top? So top. Right. So we want to then say main mesh add. So we need to say offset plus so resvec 3 new P0? No, okay. Do .default, and then your mesh is top. Right, we don't need this bit. Alright, so you're telling me that default bound is not a requirement in P. So vertex position. I believe vertex position is what is required to be part of the vector. No, vector component. Vector component needs to implement default. I need to say you also need to be in default. Okay. So with that, we bake in. We'll build the main, we'll build the top. Okay. So when we call bake on this, so we obviously want to bake in the core. And then we say like let, okay, so we're gonna say first off, let R and G equal rand. Right, we don't even have rand in this crate yet. Rand. Okay. Okay, so with that RNG equal rand do I need to tell her since I don't remember what it's fucking called? Okay. Is it? Seed. We need to use as RNGs seed. Default. No. From the seed. And the seed is your ID. So ID has to have seed. I guess into U64. And then we're gonna say ID dot cool, so that should work. The trait, yeah. So it's way back here. We need to say you need to import into U64. Okay, so with that, U64, and you also need to into U64. Okay. Into U64. Going to break up there. Mismatch types from seed itself. Seed. No. From seed from U64. Okay. So that makes that working. So then we say let. I guess we could just say like cactus height is from world. How does P have from world? P literally only implements less than or equal to. How did P? Where is P extrapolating this extra material from? Where fixed P is the vertex position. Alright, so cactus. From F32 rand no, it's RNG dot gen gen range low is 0. Say like a cactus can range in height from half to full height cactus. And arms is just going to be over back. We're not working on arms yet. Okay, so we want to then call dot build, and then we pass you the offset, the meshes, the wave meshes, which is even obj dot meshes. All right. Meshes. So right, because you're called asset meshes. Okay, because they spell it differently literally everywhere. Okay, so RNG needs to be mutable. Okay, so we build offset main meshes. Okay, and then we build that, and then it returns. So that means that we should, when I put these back into the main, like when I put deserts into the main world. So what are you saying? Trait. It's got to be self. Yeah. So you need to have import into U64 for cell ID, and it's literally just going to have affinity. It's going to be self dot q as U64 bit shifted 32 chord width self dot r as U64. Okay. Alright, and I have to wrap this as well. Okay. Cool. So where was it? It's like we want to go wave meshes. That's thanks, plugin. Mesh map gen. It's here. Can connect send. That's just me hacking around the fact that I'm still using the old waveform system. I should really just pull it out and put the new system in, but anyway, so this is a wet desert. So let's go with the gold. So we're gonna say that you are 5. And then to load 5, we would need to say desert, and then you'll just sand again. Okay. Okay, so we load the desert. We say if it's supposed to be a wet desert, we are going to spawn a desert instead of just sand, and that should give us access to our basic cactus, because it'll always generate at the moment. Obviously I need to put like some functionality in there that's like only if random chance based on seed. Now, not quite sure why you are I mean, there are different heights, and it is in fact spawning. Like I don't know why your color's wrong. Oh yes, I do, because I added your color, but then okay, we need to file, export, replace, export. That should mean that when I rerun, it should be green this time. Okay, they're now at the very least the same color, or the right color. Now, how do we get you down from there? So, feel like it's just twice what it needs to be because, again, we're multiplying the height of the cactus, and the height of the cactus is half, which means that we would need to say that you're equal to height divided by, can't do floats. Well, we can do floats, but doing floats is going to be one really inefficient. Times fixed. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we need to. Well, one solution to this first is to go into Blender and make this, because like I don't want to have to tell it that it's a half. That doesn't make sense. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to scale you up by 2. Nope, 2. Wow, that's a big cactus. Okay, we're going to also grab you and take you to 0. Okay. You're at 0, and okay. So, see, the issue with that, right, because we weren't actually supposed to scale. We only scale in the Y direction, which means that I can apparently get stuck. Okay, okay. So we're going to scale you along that direction 2 times, and then grab you and move you to global place. 0.5. Right. So we need to do all the fun stuff again of being like AS file export sand. Then we need to take our sand from up here. Waves sand AV. Alright. So as I said, run now. What do we get? We should, in theory, get correct cactuses, except now they're just really tall. So, I mean, it worked. Well, one thing is I'm going to need to bake cactuses because they're using so many duplicate vertexes that it would be very silly not to bake them. You'll also notice every cactus smack dab in the middle. Yeah, so they use lots of overlapping vertices, which means that they are, again, unlike the forests where the trees were pre-built, so they would have overlapping vertices. I've already removed that by that point. Your arm is never moved. So, first off, we now only spawn you between half and 1/4 height. 50%, 25%. You need to be 0.5. Okay. that will generate. Okay, you're just broken apparently. Gotta love fucking Vegas. It's just so broken. Okay, so we generate. Okay. So between between a half and 1 basically. But since we offset you, so first off, we don't add, we bake. FIU. And we go, hey look, now the cactuses are all very short. So we bake. Bake. And we bake. Okay, that'll slow down the generation, but it'll also speed up. Okay, and then we go for arm in self.arms. Oh yeah, why don't you just consume self? Because, you know, it makes more sense in terms of like you go, hey, this cactus, build it, rather than being like, I want to build 2 of these, because in theory, building 2 would always be a bad idea. They'll always be in the same spot. Deterministic cactuses. Alright, so cactus arm. Cactus arm has a rotation. It also needs a height, which is also going to be a P. Yes, which means that you need to get P on the vertex type. Okay. Yes. Okay, so with that, for each arm, we need to say, well, first off, so, let sign equal, so we should probably grab the top, right? We're going to need to clone it because clone. Well, actually, I guess we only need to clone it after there, so the fact that we still have access to the top. Okay, so sign is going to equal fixed I32P rotations sign of arm dot slot. Slot as U size, and then we're gonna say let cos equal, I guess just I'll click that down, and then we need to just go here and say cos, and then cos. Okay. So we're gonna say let mute top equal top dot clone. Okay. So another function we need to add to wave meshes is pub offset. Okay, offset is going to take in mute itself, and then vec3 type P. And it's going to say for vertex position plus equals offset. Can I assign? Why not? Okay. Very slowly, I'm expanding this to the point where it's going to be like every single fucking thing. So you need to mutably assign, you need to be able to say add assign, add assign to self. Okay, so P, okay, so we need to specify that P for you also adds less than or equal to that. Okay, which means that cactus here, build exists for structure fixed P. Right, we need to say to you, your P is less than or equal to fixed P. Okay. The method build exists, but it's only type does not satisfy the build. Okay. Cactus fixed P, but cactus fixed P. I thought it did P. But the trait method was not satisfied. Okay. Bizarre. Wait. I feel like I've done something wrong here. P needs to be less than or equal to. And then your height is this. Oh, because you're not P directly, you're and then you'd be the same like so. Okay, so you need to be P is less than this, and where P fixed by P equals inherits vertex position. So that's what you also need. So you need is less than equal to where P inherits vertex position, and you're also going to be the same. Less than equal to. Okay, and then you're going to be fixed to P. Wait, that's confusing. Why have you gone? You can be moved. Okay, well, first arm rotations is derived. This is going to be clone and copy, just so that it can be used like that. Alright, so then we have the sign on the card top that's mutable. Then we need to say, how does this work? So we need to offset the top so that what are we doing? So in our blender, what we need to do is first off offset the top out to whatever this value is. So what is the average value here? So we need to move it 0.1 by 0.1. Right. So we need to move the top by 0.1 and 0.1. Okay. So we need to say top dot offset by an RVEC fixed point I32P from num 0.1. Right. So it's 0.1, 0.1, and fixed IVEC P 0. Okay. So first thing we do is offset that by that amount, which doesn't quite feel right yet. Like, we don't want to do this yet. So what we need to do is so if the arm's height, so we need two factors. So we need the arm's height and arm height. Okay. Start height. I guess it'd be height and length. Okay, so fixed P. So the arms have a height and length. So you would need to be offset by the so instead of being 0, you would be arm dot height plus arm dot length plus fixed I32 from P from num and then not 0, but the height that this is off the ground, which is the Z direction. So it's we're gonna offset by 0.1 0 1. Okay, so first off, U as 0. So U is 0 and U is 0.1. So basically we're upping the height, basically. So the way this is working is we're shifting. I'll go to the blender, it's more of this. So first off, we'll hide this and this. We're working purely on these side ups. So we're taking this top here and we're shifting it out so it's underneath this, like this, moving it 0.1 that way. And then we're going, grabbing it and going 0.1 this way plus the height that is off the ground, the height that it's off the ground, and the height that the stem between it is. We do that again, and that should... Oh, blend's not visible? Oh, because I left it. Yeah, sorry. I left the game open. Have I had the game open this whole time? I've just been like typing while the game's open. Yeah, so go back to Blender. So what I'm saying is, what I'm doing is I'm offsetting this top to here, and then offsetting the top by the height of this. This way, up to up. So then offsetting the height here. Then the height that this goes off the ground, we also move voltage. So yeah, then we go. You go a specific height off the ground, and then so the height that this is off the ground, and then the height that the stem is. So that should result in the top being in the right spot for the stem. Then we're going to rotate the whole thing. So the top's in the right spot. We're going to need another stem. The issue is we kind of scaled this one, so that's not going to work. So we're going to need probably do something like, because I don't want to call this twice, so we might go let stem equal, you know, like stem here, and then we're going to say let main underscore stem equal stem dot clone. Okay, and then we're going to say main stem scale. Okay, and then we're going to say your mutable. Okay, then and then we're going to do here. So we have our top in the right spot. Then we're going to let mute arm stem equal stem dot clone. Okay, and then we're going to say arm dot. Okay, so first we have to scale it. We have to arm stem dot scale by arm dot length. So the length of the arm is how long that little arm's going to be. We have to scale it first, because if I move it away from 0, the bottom will scale, and because I'm kind of relying on the fact that anything times 0 equals 0. So if I was to scale, Blender doesn't do it, is what's weird, even more weird, because it scales from the center. But basically, because everything's multiplied by 0, no matter how much I move this, they're still multiplying by 0, so they're staying in place. Whereas if I was to offset it, then they would no longer stay in place. It wouldn't particularly matter, because I don't... no, I am offsetting it by... So this one then gets... so arm... arm stem dot offset. And we need you to be offset by a rec3. So the x, which is the amount to the side. So you're going to move this much to the side, and then you're going to move by arm, but not arm length. Okay, so just off to arm height, and plus 0.1, because that's the amount you need to move in order to be on top. So so anything but the arm length. So the height, because that's how high off the ground that other one starts, and then 0.1 because that's the thickness of the other one, and then also your z is going to be 0. Okay. I've copied z twice. Okay, so that should offset the arm so that it's in the right spot. Okay, and then finally we need to let branch, and so let's just copy this code. The question is, do we want to risk doing redundant code here in order to save us redundant code later in terms of, no, we'll let the compiler do this. So this is going to be cactus stem. No, not stem, it's cactus, what do they call it? Cactus branch. Okay, so it's going to be this paste. Okay. So it's going to be branch. Alright, so we get our branch, and this time we can just clone it. Yeah, I didn't need to clone it because I'm going to rotate it. Clone. Alright, so you get top dot offset by so I just need to make your Y change, and the rest can be default. And your Y is going to be equal to dot height. Okay, so we offset you. You'll notice a trend that the top gets offset by 3, the stem gets offset by 2, and then the this one gets offset by 1. That's because as it moves up, like each of them needs to be offset by the width of the one below them. So you have 3 things below you. You have 2 things below you. You are only got the ground below you. So not top. We want to mute branch and say branch. Okay. So branch is now offset correctly. Then we need to rotate all of these. So we calculate our cousin answer. So we say top dot rotate by sine and cos, and then we say arm dot stem dot rotate by sine and cos, and then we say branch dot rotate by sine and cos. Okay, so they will then all rotate, and finally I think we just bake the 3 in. Okay, so then we just say main mesh dot bake, and then we say, okay, so offset is just going to be offset because each mesh has already been corrected. Okay, so then the mesh is going to be reference to top stem and branch. Okay, and then obviously we need to return any of these early if something goes wrong. Okay, and just like that, that should make us cool little cactuses. Now there is, you know, obviously it's complaining here we never use 0 through this, so I'm gonna say I don't know, is there a way to do weighted like weighted averages for so I want to do it from like 0 through rng.gen range between 0 and 4, so that will give you either 0 through 3 branches, and then we want to go dot map, right, the gen range, we want to go then dot map, and I don't think I care what arm it is. Okay, and then we want to go like dot collect. Okay. Cannot build from an iterator over nothing. Okay. So you are going to generate cactus arms. Okay. The slot's going to be the hardest bit. So one thing to do is we should probably make a random cactus. FN new like this, and it's going to return a cactus P. Just do cactus, I guess. And then you're going to take in RNG, which is going to be mutable RNG. Okay. RNG. And apparently cactus needs to specify that it returns a P cactus. Okay. Cannot be. Okay. ST RNG. Okay. Yeah. So this bit of code, I'm gonna move down here. I'm gonna say cactus new RNG. So I'm just moving this out to its own function so that I'm gonna do like a vector that contains all of the possible arms, and I'm going to remove from the vector like each arm as I generate them. So to keep the code kind of clean, I'm going to do that in its own sort of function. So let mute arms is going to equal I guess we could have just no, because I want it to be like all of them. So we need enum. So we want all of them. We then want to shuffle and pick. So what was it called? Rotations iter dot collect into a vector of underscore. Takes in the RNG and it for slices of length and complexity OMN. So it just shuffles them around, and then height. So for this, so we gen from 0 to 4, and then we go slot is going to be arms dot pop dot expect less than 7 arms. Height is going to be so height is how high off the ground the first branch starts. So this will be from like 0.1, and if 5 is my maximum height, it needs to be sort of slightly lower than that, so like maybe 4. And length is going to be how long it's going to be. So it could be like anywhere from like 0.05, like really short arms, to we could do really long arms, like 7.5. Right, because you need to be fixed I32s of type P of type from num. Okay. Okay, so that should, if I remember correctly, so it'll shuffle the arms. So now we have an array with a random ordering of our 6 possible arms. We will then pick anywhere from 0 to 3 of them, because, 0 through 4, but, does it include? Including the low, excluding the high. So that seems like I need to go to 5. Because this, I guess we can just go equal. Let me just go 4. Okay, so if you roll the 0, it's 0 to 0, and I think it just fails out. I think that's how that works. I don't quite remember if iterators in Rust run 0. Because if they run 0, and it'll be really easy to tell, is because every single cactus will have an arm at least, which will mean that they're running 0. And if that's the case, we need to do a Boolean check to see if they need arms. Anyway, so yeah, we shuffle the arms. We then collect sort of random heights for the arms. All worlds will have the same positions in them. So if you end up with a desert tile in the same location in 2 different worlds, they'll have the same structure. It's not just like if you're using the same seed. It's if you have structures in the same place. I see cactuses. Oh, there's a little stumpy cactus. Okay. Well, there seems to be at least one issue, which is where is your top? Would you like to explain to me where your top is? That is oddly odd. Where is the top? Because some of them have tops. Actually, do any of them tops? I feel like that's... I must have not, like... I must have been scaling something and then I decided I didn't need to scale it and I've broken it. Alright, so... stem... Right. So for each arm, we grab top. Right, we never scale top, do we? Name mesh bake. No, yeah, but we insert self and height. We offset it by height. We don't need to scale it by height. I mean, the other ones have the arms in the right spot. Yeah, so they're in the right spot, which is even more bizarre. We put arm height, arm length, and a fixed offset. Why do they not have tops? I don't think any of them have tops. You know what's another interesting thing I just noticed about them? They're all the same height. So main stem gets scaled, but I feel like we're not inserting the main stem, we're inserting the stem. Yeah, that's it. Main stem. Okay, so now we run. And with the magic of... apparently Visual Studio Code doesn't have an executor. Wait, where'd it go? Now it's spawned a whole bunch of other shit. No, go away. Go the fuck away. Move. Okay, he's running in the background. F5. Come on. Wait, where's my map? No, I was looking in the wrong direction. I'd have to say, it's done what I wanted it to do. So... I figured that might be a problem. One thing it definitely needs is a check to make sure that the arm height is less than the body's height. So it doesn't matter if 2 arms come out the same spot. you know, unless, you know, on the same side, that could look a bit weird, but as long as I keep the cactus kind of small, it doesn't matter. But what we definitely need to do is when we're generating the arms, okay, no, we need to generate the height, and then your minimum is 0.1 to a maximum. Alright, so what we do is we say let height equal, generate the height externally to that, and then obviously we just say height, but I might just put it underneath just for the clone copy reasons. But so put that back in. And then we say that you spawn from there to height minus 0.05, just like slightly less than the height of the plant. Like you can't spawn right on the top. Right, generating fixed P. Okay, no. We can easily fix that. We'll just pop you out. And we'll say that height is height from F32. I guess it's from num, because it's all it does underneath is from num, but it's just nicer to have it all be using the same thing. Okay, so we calculate the height, which apparently is an F64. Okay, that's interesting. So now our height is just fractionally less. Oh, again, you can't see anything because I've got the game open, which is yeah. Anyway, so all I've done is I've generating the height outside of the cactus now, and then when we generate each arm, we specify that the height of the arm is from 0.1 to the height minus 0.05, and since the height will always be greater than 0.25, there is no chance that an arm will spawn no longer attached to the body. And apparently my stream is now telling me it's got no data, so that's fun. What's wrong with this? Okay, well, I'd have to say that that's a pretty successful cactus spawning. And as you can see, like each time I come in, the this little cactus will always be here because I'm using like my regenerative ashes. See, it's there, and even if I like exit and restart the game, he should still be there. Yep, see, he's still there. But as I'm saying, like, currently, it doesn't factor in the world seed, which means that this little nubbly cactus will always be on a desert tile in this location. Now, theoretically, it should, like, because it's using it, it's not a good sign. I think you're facing a different way, so you don't really count. It's just that there's obviously not enough variation in cactuses. Cactus. Excuse me, you have 4. You also have 4. I'm pretty sure I specified that you couldn't have 4, which means that rust counts 0 to 0 as an iteration of at least 1. So we're going to need to go to our desert and do like a has arms check. Okay, so when we say new cactus, that's a new desert. We want to go to cactus new. Cactus new. we can go and we go if rng.gen bool 0 point let's say like there's a 10% chance it won't have an arm. Otherwise, give that bad boy arms. With capacity 0. Okay. So, again, I keep leaving the game open. I always do that. So, yeah. I'm terrible because like I just tab back in, and usually when I have it set up, I don't have the game full screen, so you can still at least see behind, but it still blocks out so much. Anyway, so I've just put an if 10%. Don't just give it an empty vector. Otherwise, generate 0 to 4 arms, 1 to 4 arms, because apparently I can't just say 0 in the case of generation. Anyway, back into the game, and this will change the cactuses because even a slight tweak in how the cactuses generate, like at least we have little cactuses now. We'll change like all the cactuses because not necessarily all of them. Like if they were generating before it got to the tweak, then it wouldn't. But the random code is like it's deterministic, but like a slight change, it's chaotic but deterministic. Also, I notice a small trend here. Interesting. Are they at least different heights? No, they are identical. Which... Wait, are you getting repeating... See, like, that's the only spot it's doing it, though. Like, nowhere else is... Why? Like, and it's clearly repeating. Like, there's no chance that's random. But, like, nothing else seems to happen. Maybe. Okay, they're also repeating. They're repeating. They're repeating. They're repeating. So it's repeating along, but they're not. Look, this is different. And that's different. But that's the same. So if I change, so it's along this plane, they repeat. These are all different. Why does that one chunk just repeat? No, I can't imagine it's just that one chunk. It's got to have something to do with the fact that I'm passing in maybe their relative. Yeah, it's got to be something to do with how I'm generating the random number. They're obviously getting the same ID. So we give each of them an ID. See, what's confusing me is it's along like a single, like it's either Q or R. So maybe because I ORed them together, which is the proper way of doing it. Plugin components, XID. The most likely spot that's wrong is here. Because I was thinking, like, if I'd seen a few together, like, that were the same, it would make me think that like maybe it's a like chunk boundary, and somehow the result at a chunk boundary gives you the same numbers, but the fact that it's lines tells me that it's like, you know, like self cube as U32 greater than 2, or with R's, and yeah, like so equal 1 or 5, 5, 2 or 4. The OR operator writes true or false, true, false, false, false. Okay, so does that mean that 5 and 2 is 7, because 1 and 4, so 5 on, okay. I mean, this is gonna be terrible, but I can be like, print we want to say like so I suspect what's happening partly is that currently each chunk uses relative coordinates and never updates, like it never tells the its submeshes that it's using like what its true coordinate should be. But maybe it is, I don't remember. I'm sure I've come across this before, where it's like, because each chunk is you know, basically generating from 0, you need to factor in that the chunks offset as well into the offset, but you can't do that into the baking mesh, because otherwise the chunk ends up being horribly offset as well. Well, I guess that's why the ID is separate to the offset. Anyway, let's do this. It's going to be real slow. Wait, how did it print so much garbage so quickly? 66, 63. So we're doing things like looking. There shouldn't be like one copy of each number. I mean, it fairly looks like there's only one copy of each number. Like, we'll get neighboring cells, and then while with nothing, and then neighboring cells, but like, there's no obvious numbers that are the same. That's very bizarre. Because obviously there's like a lot that share this beginning bit. And that's mostly because, you know, these two numbers should be one number apart. So it doesn't seem to be that they're getting a bad random seed. It could be that the variation's too low in the seed, but I suspect it's more likely that I'm just passing in. No, because again, we just proved that it's getting a good seed each time. Like they are basically just random seeds. So this isn't what we want. So in a desert, we pass in our ID, and we convert that, and we basically just proven that it is getting a random number. So cactus gets the RNG. The cactus builds it. So, and yeah, the RNG just uses shuffle, which, okay, then the height, see, because the height should basically shuffle the RNG, but I guess it's each RNG call. No, but they're not giving the same start seed. I was thinking maybe what it could be is that because they're calling the RNG in the same like sort of order, like the odds of getting a sequence of you will generate the same numbers, but they're starting from a different state. So even if you gave them exactly the same sequence of calls, they would so quickly diverge. But I suspect this is what it is. Like, see, there's 14, 14, 14. Could it be... Maybe I should XOR? No, I feel like XORing is a bad idea, because XORing is just going to end up with there being more in common. But there's like literally only one copy of each. Wait, no, there's not. I say that, but I just literally found the issue. Wait, why does negative... Wait, what? What? Why are these numbers XORing to be the same? Like, not wait, what? There's only one thing I could possibly think that is, and that's that Rust is not treating the fact that I'm turning I32s. I'm shifting 32. Right. So I32, maybe turn them into I64s, and then turn the whole thing into as a U64. Look, there's definitely the issue is that, like, let's go over here and be like, decimal to binary. Monitor. Let's see if you're doing it still. Well, I don't see it this time. I mean, it wasn't hard to miss last time either. That's a lot of ones. Okay, so one. Okay, so I'm gonna go like, so was it 16? Convert. So 16 gives us 100. Interesting. Why? 16 and like negative 50. Prime number 6 digits. Choose complement 16 digits. Interesting. So this number here, I guess I fixed it by casting them to I64s instead of U64s, which means that Rust's doing something when it casts them. Like it's doing some kind of active conversion, which means that it broke when negative numbers became involved. Is it specifically just negative 50, or is it just any negative number? No, any negative number seems to have multiple duplicates of everything. VU48. Okay, interesting. Alright, well, I fixed it. But that seems odd, because I thought I've tested it in Rust before, and it doesn't seem to have that problem, like casting between I32 and U32. Anyway, it's like 1 in the morning here, so I think I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all for tuning in to the stream. It was a lot of fun. And now I have cool cactuses. Obviously, I'm going to have to keep expanding on this, make it so that they have a little bit of jitter, so that each cactus is sort of random. Work out some kind of way of using a world seed beyond just the chunk coordinates. Well, I guess correcting the chunk coordinates, because if I give you the chunk coordinates rather than just the they still need the world seed. So yeah. Anyway, have a good night, and I'll catch you in the next one, I guess.